Hello, welcome to Scituate Light. What do you think? How's she look? I have two girls that are going to sing the national anthem, and I don't think I have to tell you where the flag is. Let's see. So girls, come on up.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the lands of the free and the home of the brave?
I don't know what he's doing.
Thank you! Fire! Here goes the Scituate Light! Hookah!
Yeah. That's right here, Jeannie.
He said, good idea.
Welcome, everyone. My name is Bob Chesia from the Scituate Historical Society, and the town and the society would like to welcome you to the relighting, I should say, of our beautiful lighthouse. Home of the Army of Two, the Don't Give Up the Ship battle during the War of 1812. And I'm sure some of you, I know Matt Brown does, remembers the Etrusco when that washed up. Quite a big event, bigger than the lighthouse, and what happened was people came to see the Etrusco and decided not to leave Scituate. Believe it or not, our population doubled within a few years. Scituate Light is a backdrop for a lot of weddings, engagements, class pictures, just selfies now. It's really, it's awesome. And we're just glad that it's back so people can have their pictures taken once again. The best of the South Shore has their what they call Boss Awards, and Scituate Light was voted the #1 tourist attraction on the South Shore. That's quite an honor. However, I think we have one that tops that. Smithsonian Magazine mentioned Scituate Light when it said Scituate was one of the top 25 small towns in America. And I think you people have a lot to do with that. In the fall of 2022, the light was extinguished. In October, the lantern room was removed. Almost a year later, the new lantern room arrived back here. It was clad right here in copper. If anyone knows the copper guy, Bob DiTullio, he was probably the most popular guy in Scituate. Everyone stopped to see what was going on, and everyone with a dog stopped because all the dogs got a treat. The work was completed this summer, and I think it looks pretty good. What do you think? This could not have been done without the help of the Community Preservation Committee And I see Dan Fennelly is here. I want to thank him and all the members. They really stepped up to the plate for us. They found funding for it and made sure there was enough to finish the job. Dan? Also, we got a grant from the Mass Cultural Council. Michael Bobbitt, I don't know if he's here, but he was instrumental. And we also got a generous donation from New England Lighthouse Lovers. And I want to thank the team that got this done. Pomeroy Associates. There's someone in the audience I want to call out. He may not like it. Anthony Fonseca, where are you? Hey, there he is. His first big job was the lighthouse for Pomeroy, and he did a great job. We're very proud of him. I think his mother might be a little more proud. I'd also like to thank Spencer Preservation Group. They came down and did an awesome job architecturally to find out what had to be done. They did a review of the lighthouse, and they found stuff we weren't even aware of. I want to thank them, especially Lynn's here, Sean Willett. Thank you so much. Unfortunately, Greg Campbell could not be here. Campbell Construction did the construction work. If anyone is not familiar with Lawson Tower, the last time it was shingled, that was Greg Campbell. I'm really not going to go into the history of the light, but this fall we will have an event at the GAR Hall on the history of Scituate Light. Keep a look at the Scituate Historical Society website or Scituate Historical Society's Facebook page. I'd like to introduce now Greg Denton, who's going to speak for State Senator Patrick O'Connor. Greg.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for the opportunity to be here. My name is Greg Denton. I'm the State Senator Patrick O'Connor's Chief of Staff, who couldn't be here this evening, but he wanted me to be here to represent the office and really just recognize this great achievement. I remember a couple of years ago, Gigi Mararki had reached out to our office to get some assistance with the Mass Cultural Council grant that the Historical Society was pursuing at the time. And I really learned a lot about this lighthouse and how important the history of it was to not just the town, but to the residents of the South Shore. So it's congratulations to the Historical Society for pursuing this and making this a reality. I've learned a lot also from Bob Gallagher down here, the lighthouse keeper. I highly encourage you to give it up to Bob and the work that he does. I encourage everyone to read his blog of his work that he does here and just the history of what he does. Knowing Bob up the last couple of years, his daughter Haley was one of our first interns in the office when we first took office, and from that time until now, we've really learned a lot about. All right, sorry, I'm getting some calls in the back that they can't hear, so I'm going to be brief and just do one thing that the senator wanted me to do is recognize the Historical Society through a citation from the Massachusetts Senate that I'll read here today. It says, "Be it known that the Massachusetts Senate hereby congratulates the Historical Society in recognition of the relighting of Scituate Light and preserving the historic landmark, and also celebrating what is today as National Lighthouse Day. And be it known that the Massachusetts Senate hereby extends its congratulations for continued success, and that we offer this by State Senator Patrick O'Connor in recognition of this historic day. Thank you all very much for being here, and congratulations again." Thank you.
Jimmy Cantwell will be next, speaking for Ed Markey. Jim?
Thank you very much, Bob. Everybody, can everyone hear us? First of all, Bob just mentioned that Smithsonian Magazine voted Scituate to be among the best towns to live in and visit throughout our country. So how about that for everyone's work? And that's as a reminder, because we hit the cosmic lottery to live in here in Scituate or on the South Shore at this time in the world's history with all the great privileges that we have, and one privilege is to have this amazing lighthouse behind us. How about a round of applause, by the way? I'm going to read the people in the Lighthouse Restoration Committee and Celebration Committee, and then a big round of applause from them all. For Jean D. Jacob Andrea, Bob Chesia, Gigi Meraki, Ted Good, Karen Conley, and Jeff Martell. On behalf of Senator Markey, I have a proclamation for the Scituate Select Board and Scituate Historical Society, but I also have a letter that we were reading into the record that I'd like to read here tonight, Bob, with your permission. This is a letter from Senator Ed Markey to the residents of Scituate and the Scituate Historical Society. After years of hard work, I write today in celebration of the official relighting of the Scituate Lighthouse, the third oldest lighthouse in New England. On this National Lighthouse Day, I'm glad for the opportunity to celebrate the history of the town of Scituate, the restoration of its lighthouse, and every dedicated person who helped to make this occasion possible. It's been said that a lighthouse's purpose is not merely to steer ships, but also to inspire us to find our own guiding light. Since 1811, when Congress voted to allot $4,000 to build a lighthouse at Scituate Harbor, it has stood tall as an icon for the town and a beacon for our Commonwealth shores. From its very first keeper, Captain Simon Bates, and the story of his daughters Abigail and Rebecca Bates preventing the British from invading the town during the War of 1812, to the current era of the Gallagher family, Bob, Julie, and Haley as light keepers. This lighthouse has stood the part of history of our nation. I, therefore, Ed Markey, join the Scituate community in thanking all who've dedicated much to preserve and maintain one of our nation's most historic landmarks. Congratulations again on this day of the relighting. He looks forward to celebrating the lighthouse's legacy for years to come. And in closing, Daniel Webster, another former U.S. Senator and a neighbor from Marshall, once said that those who do not see themselves as a link between the past and the future do not do their duty to the world. You all do your duty to the world today by being here for this amazing celebration. Bob, thank you for all that you've done to bring us all together.
Thanks, Jim. Next, I'd like State Representative Patrick Kearney to come up and speak. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for gathering here today. It's with great pride and joy that we celebrate the relighting of the Scituate Lighthouse. This lighthouse holds a special place in my heart. I grew up down the street at 18 Lighthouse Road, and it has always been something that's been part of my everyday life. We take the dog for a walk around the point, and it served as an inspiration and a beacon of hope for me, and I know for many others in this community. As you know, this lighthouse has long stood as a symbol of Scituate's maritime heritage and its enduring spirit. For generations, it's guided sailors safely through our waters and has been a cherished landmark for all of us that call it home. Today's event marks a significant milestone in our commitment to preserving our town's rich history. Thanks to the support of the Community Preservation Act funds, we've been able to completely rehab this historic structure with funds provided by both our local community members, all of us, and the state. We've ensured that this lighthouse will be safeguarded for future generations. This project was not just about repairing the light, though. It's about honoring the legacy of those who built and maintained this lighthouse. Bob, thank you for continuing that legacy on a daily basis. It's also about ensuring that those future generations will continue to find the inspiration in this light the same way I did as a kid. I want to extend my deepest gratitude to every single person that played a role in making this happen, to the dedicated preservationists, to the skilled craftsmen, and the tireless volunteers
the police and fire that are with us today, the volunteers that are handing out water, none of this would be able to be possible without our collective effort. These efforts have breathed a new life into the cornerstone of our community. And as we watch this beacon shine brightly once again tonight, let it serve as a reminder to all of us that we can achieve whatever we want to when we work together for a shared purpose. The Scituate Lighthouse is more than just a navigation aid. It's a symbol of all of our collective efforts to preserve and celebrate all of our heritage. So thank you all for being here to witness this momentous occasion, and here's to the Scituate Lighthouse. May it continue to shine as brightly, guiding us and inspiring us for many years to come. Thank you.
Andrew Goodrich, who is the chair of the Select Board, will be next. Andrew. Thank you. On a flight coming back from Florida, my oldest son says, "There it is, we're home." And we knew exactly what he meant without even looking out the window. Beyond its practical purpose, the lighthouse holds a deeper, more personal significance for many of us. The lighthouse is more than a navigational aid. It's a symbol of hope, security, and homecoming. For those at sea, the sight of its light piercing through the darkness brings a sense of relief and comfort, saying that they are almost at the safety of the shore. It's a reminder that no matter how far we wander, there's a place where we belong, a place that we call home. But the lighthouse, its light does not only shine for those at the sea. It casts its glow upon the land, touching the hearts of those who see it from their homes, or even if you're simply driving down Jericho. Its steadfast presence, we are reminded of the strength and warmth of our entire community. It stands as a silent sentinel. It is a constant in this ever-changing, crazy world, reminding us of the power of coming home. Coming home is more than returning to a place. It's about reconnecting to our roots, our families, our friends, and our values. It's about finding peace and drawing strength and love from those around us. And our lighthouse has also witnessed, as we have said, many personal milestones, cherished moments. It is a beloved spot for young couples, a place where many have chosen to mark their own lifelong journey together. Countless engagements and weddings have all taken place here. And the light can illuminate that path for those couples. It is truly a lighthouse for those in love. Today, as we relight this historic beacon, we not only honor its role in guiding ships safely, but also celebrate its enduring presence as a symbol of homecoming. Let this light remind us of the importance of our community, the comfort of home, and the power of coming together. As we've said, I want to thank the CPC, the Historical Society, Karen Conley, and other members who have been so instrumental in this event. And please, may this lighthouse continue to shine brightly, guiding both mariners and land dwellers alike. And may it always serve as a reminder that no matter where we go, there's always going to be a light to guide us back home. Thank you. Thank you, Andrew. Next will be Town Administrator Jim Bedreau, who was very instrumental in this whole entire project. Jim?
Thanks, Bob. Good evening and welcome. I'm glad to see everybody here. I have two quick questions by a show of hands. How many people came to see the lighthouse we lit tonight? How many people came to hear me? It's okay. You don't have to raise your hand. I'm not even raising my hand on that one. So I like to tell people the Gettysburg Address was 2 minutes, and everybody remembers it. The keynote speaker at Gettysburg spoke for 2 hours, and only Bob Gallagher knows who that guy was. I asked him, he knew who it was. So I don't think Bob Chessie really conveyed the state the lighthouse was in when we started this project. We sent an engineer up to look at it, and we found out that the iron rods that come up from the tower and hold the lantern room in place were all completely rotted away, and that the top of the lighthouse was actually in danger of blowing off if we had a bad storm. So we took it down and we started the project, and I met with my board, and my board gave me one directive: do not screw this up. So I'm pleased to say 2 years later, we did not screw it up. The lighthouse that you see before you is in better shape than it has been, and is stronger than it has been since it was constructed. So 100 years from now, when you meet again to do this, hopefully I will be retired by then, no offense, but that's kind of my plan. This lighthouse will still be standing, will still be a beacon, and will still be shining bright on the town of Scituate. I'm very pleased to be part of this. I want to thank Bob Chessier, Gigi Marachi, and Jeff Martell from the Historic Society. They were out here every week when it was freezing cold, and we were huddled in behind the trucks trying to stay warm for our construction meetings, keeping us on path. Nancy Holt, who tamped down some of the Historic Society's more grandiose ideas, keeping us on budget. Kevin Cafferty from the DPW, who translated the engineering talk into English, so I actually understood what they were talking about. As Bob mentioned, Pomeroy Associates, our OPM, they oversaw the project for us. Jeff Willett, our designer, did a fantastic job on this. And really a big shout out to Greg Campbell, the construction. If you had the chance to see the workmanship that went into this lantern room, it was fabulous. I knew we had a good contractor the minute we saw that. So I want to thank everybody involved. Mostly I want to thank you, the residents of Scituate. This is your lighthouse. This is your project. You made it happen. We're almost to the finish line. We just have to make sure that it turns on in a couple minutes. So thank you for coming. Have a good night and enjoy the lighthouse.
Our next speaker will be our lightkeeper, Bob Gallagher. But before I bring him up here, I want to mention someone else. Scituate may be the third oldest lighthouse. Boston is the oldest. And we have with us, on the seawall, the first female lightkeeper in the United States and the last lightkeeper in the United States, Sally Snowman. Sally? Well deserved. I think Bobby may get an appropriate round of applause too. He's a great guy. Here he is.
So good evening. I'm very pleased to be in this distinguished company. I looked out the window and I thought someone had announced a Taylor Swift concert. I will not be singing. My role here is simple. I have a chance to add some context to the event, and I get to throw the switch. It shouldn't take very long. Today is National Lighthouse Day, and when considering what to say to you all tonight, I landed on that. And you might be asking, why is there even a National Lighthouse Day? I think I have two answers. The first, and you've heard some of this already, is that lighthouses tell us something about a deep-seated commitment. A commitment to safeguard a community, neighbors and strangers alike. That's what the lighthouse does. It demonstrates that we can see our connection to other people and that we value that connection. A lighthouse is the golden rule brought to life. We're doing as we would like to see done to everyone. Lighthouses remove some of the danger in life and help make your way home. We celebrate lighthouses as a symbol of generosity and our commitment to the other guy. Speaking directly about our lighthouse, I'll tell you that our light is reassuring. It disregards weather and storms for the sake of the traveler, the mariner, and the homesick. This light encourages. People come every day to pray, to think, to walk a lot of dogs, to teach their kids some history, and to take themselves to a place where peace of mind is easy to find. I once broke down the story of Scituate Light into 5 phases. This restoration, it can be seen as the beginning of a 6th phase. It began when I first noticed a lot of moisture in the tower. It continued through the search for experts and for funding, then through the pandemic, which brought a good deal of progress to a halt. When progress resumed, we had community preservation hearings and a town meeting vote, the awarding of bids. We saw the lantern removed, and finally we saw the rebuild advance through the last 22 months. From start to finish, as Mr. Boudreau noted, there was a commitment to get this right. The Town of Scituate, the Scituate Historical Society have been committed to this lighthouse for more than 100 years. The townspeople deserve all of the pride they feel for that effort, and I would love it if you'd give yourself a round of applause. And I think, as you know, we get so much back because we make that commitment. You've heard a lot of it already. The lighthouse boosts your spirits as you drive down Jericho Road. I dare you not to look for it as you're driving in and out. Picks up the fisherman or the lobsterman who's got a chance to bring a catch to market or has just had a rough day. Couples court here. Children learn how to swim here. Weekend sailors find it from a distance, and it takes away their worry. I hear oohs and ahs from early morning to very late at night. The photographs of this light must number in the millions, and after tonight, I think that might double. We give to the light, and it gives us so much back. This one has been doing all of that for over 200 years. And there's a second answer to this question as well. The lighthouse story is also a story of a constant work in progress. We celebrate National Lighthouse Day because it's a way to show we are always trying to improve, of always trying to get better, to preserve, but also to enhance. The Keeper's Cottage was added to by the first two keepers. The tower was raised in 1827. When new technology was introduced in the 1850s with a Fresnel lens, we had one here. The stewards of the light were not satisfied with how things were when opportunities were emerged to rebuild or to improve. The town built a lantern room during the Depression when there had to be higher priorities. The Historical Society stepped into the responsibility for this site and made it the treasure of this town. The terms of the federal sale of this light to the town insisted that it be maintained as a historic site. For 57 years, that task has been front and center. I feel like a big part of my job over the past 15 plus years, we were appointed to this job 16 years ago tomorrow. Thank you. And I guess I wouldn't be out of line to thank Julie and Haley for that part too. I feel like a big part of my job over this past 15 plus years has been to improve how the stories of this place have been shared. That's why there's a blog. That's why there are the banners on the side of the house. And that's why there's a boardwalk to give people a way to get around and see all of it and get their pictures. Now that this work is complete, this project successful, we can anticipate the next phase of this ongoing story. There will surely be more to do. It will always be rewarding work. In a few minutes, the lighthouse will be back on after this break of 22 months. It'll continue to be a work in progress and a demonstration of the commitment to seeing people safely home. I know I'll be grateful to be part of both of those missions. And now I get to throw the switch.
Okay, I need to go quick. Okay. Many thanks to Bob, Julie, and Haley Gallagher, our lightkeepers. They do so much. Really, they do. I want to thank the Beautification Committee. They were down here working like you would not believe, beautifying this whole Cedar Point area. Our town administrator, town accountant Nancy Holt, the select board, police, fire, public grounds, town employees that made this go without a hitch. A special call out to Mike Breen, who really steps up whenever it's needed. Special thanks, obviously, to Jeannie D. Without her, this would not have happened. Whenever something has to be done, you can turn to Jeannie and you know it's going to be done and done right. And can we hear it for the Hingham Militia? Aren't they awesome? And we may have two singers at Fenway, Caitlin Brashino and Maggie Murray. They did a great job. And if you haven't seen it, Montilio's donated a beautiful cake and 250 cupcakes to go with it. So that will be, after the light goes on, we can have cake. And I want to really thank everyone for attending and making this such a memorable event. May the light shine and grace the entrance to our beautiful harbor. Jeannie?
Hi, everybody. Just a few quick things. So if you see on the corner of the tent, you'll see a big white foam core board. The other side of it, oh, thank you. Can you turn it around? Okay, so that was our invitation and our publicity that we put out for this event. We'd like you to go over, if you care to, and sign your name to the back of it, and maybe put a little note, and we will be putting that in the Historical Society archives. So, as Jim said, in 100 years, when someone comes back there, they'll know who was here, and we just think it'll be kind of fun. So, we've got a beautiful cake. We're going to take some photo ops before we cut it, but we've got enough cake for, I think we've got enough for everybody here. So, the moment we've been waiting for 2 years, if everybody would look this way, it's time to shine. Here it is. Is that it? Is it on?
Yeah. It's on, believe it. You guys can stick around later on if you want to. You may get a better shot, but. And thank you all so much for coming. You made this such a great event. We appreciate it.
So please join us for some cake. We've got some water over there. Please take a moment to sign the big board. We really would like to know everything you can here. And thank you all for coming.